know, because that kind of thing doesn't just come around any old time of week, you know? Thank God, huh? It's one of those dates that just gets stuck in your head and stays there.
I got up early that morning. I remember that very clearly. Must have been around, well, no later than 3:15 anyway. Something like that. Anyways, I remember it was dark at our window and I just couldn't sleep. What with it still being warm out. Even so early, it was warm and I was uncomfortable, and so I got up. Maybe 3:30, but no later than that. He was still snoring.
I was out cold that night. I mean, sleeping like a drunk princess. No. We had been out that night, me and some buddies from work, and so by the time we got home, I was staggering. Not ashamed to admit it. We had just closed a really big deal that day, and you know, you gotta take a minute when something good happens. I always do. Anyway, I slept great.
I go to my purse and begin to count the money again. That's stupid to do, I know that. I must have checked the thing, what, like 60 times already? But what else am I gonna do? It's 3:30 in the morning, or 4, something like that. Anyways, I begin to count the money out there on the table. Should be $400 in tens.
She made me go out to the ATM that night. I'm sloshing around like that drunk guy off the Andy Griffith show. What was his name again? Oscar? Otis? Otis, I think. And I'm tired. I gotta work in the morning. And she's just sitting up when I get in, just staring at me, just after midnight. And she says,
"You shouldn't have taken any money out without asking me."
I snagged a few bills out for the bar, and
you need to go back out.
So I'm looking around anywhere I can for a spare 20 in my pockets, in the sock drawer. But it's no good. We're $50 short. Great. I'm looking at her, and she's not saying anything. And I know not to argue. So I just slip my jacket back on and head down to the city bank. It's right on the corner.
I go to my purse and begin to count. I was waiting for him to get that money. I didn't care about his being out that night, partying, whatever. That was fine. Not like it was some big surprise. I just wanted the rest of the cash. I suppose now, when I think about it, we could have just written a check, but I didn't. I wanted to pay it bill by bill, counting it out there on the counter. So I'd remember. So I'd feel it. Feel something.
Normally, I would go with her. Seriously, I mean, we talked about it, and I said I would. So, yeah, under normal circumstances, I totally would have been there, absolutely. But the boss is all over me this morning, calling my cell by 6, busting out of his pants. He's so excited with us closing that deal that he's not taking no for an answer. I have to go. I mean, if you knew the guy, anyway, she understands. Once I explain it to her, she completely understands.
Typical, right? He leaves it up to me. But what are you gonna do? Get into some like big thing over coffee about something that's just not gonna change? I guess you could. Some women might, but that's not me. It's not, and I don't feel the need to make excuses. At that point, we decided. We're doing it. Might as well just get it done.
She leaves a little bit before me, maybe 10 minutes ahead. This little peck on the cheek and she takes off. Leaves the stupid money on the table. So I'm running downstairs after her in my bare feet to catch her. Believe that?
He comes barreling down the stairs, yelling out my name and chasing me. For a second, I mean just a moment, I thought he wanted to talk. A change of heart or something like that. I can recall turning around by the mailboxes there, this huge smile on my face. Then I see the envelope in his hands. He's sort of out of breath.
I hand her the thing, and then, you know, like, on impulse, I kiss her again. Because it feels like the thing to do. I
took the earliest appointment I could, 7:30. I figured that was the best thing, you know, just to get it over with. I take a little time, but I'm still back to work by lunch. That way, I only have to use up half a personal day. Sitting on the 34th floor of this squat gray building, I practically have the whole place to myself. There's a young girl, a teenager, I'm sure, a few chairs down. I look around for a magazine or something to read, but there are no issues of people anywhere. This makes me laugh.
Breakfast is pretty decent. I have ham on the bone and some sort of eggs. White toast, which is, I know, not the healthiest thing ever, but come on, a hangover the size of Delaware up there above my eyes. The boss is droning on and on about production and output. And I'm just staring at him, wishing he'd have been hit by a taxi as he was crossing the street on his way over, so I could enjoy my food in peace. That's a lousy thing to say, I know, but it's how I'm feeling.
They call my name 15 minutes later.
It's about 7:45. I check my watch right then.
I'd already filled out all of the paperwork and everything, so I just go right into one of the rooms there.
Food's good, but the guy is driving me nuts, talking loud, and this little bit of jelly just hanging on his bottom lip. Hell, the way he's carrying on, I might as well have just gone to the clinic with her. At least I could have read a magazine or something.
I'm perched up on the table there with that kind of crinkly paper under me, and I remember the nurse is saying something. I remember quite clearly she said, I love your hair. Then, I hate your earrings, which kind of catches me off guard, and then there'll be some slight discomfort. I still have the earrings.
No, I'm pro-choice. I am. I mean, she can choose to keep the kid or she can choose to keep me. It's entirely up to her. That's a joke. Actually, I heard it at work. Kind of funny. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, what's the big deal? You do it, it happens, it's over. It really is that simple. Besides, I've heard it doesn't hurt that much. And I mean, in terms of like physical pain, at least no more than a pretty good paper cut. And I know there's a whole psychological thing going on. I know that. But come on, what are we talking about? A paper cut? Who hasn't had one of those? Hell, I'd do it myself if I had the right attachment for the dustbuster. So I'm probably the wrong guy to be asking.
And I don't really feel anything afterwards. Nothing. They say I can stay there as long as I need, which is nice, I thought. So I sleep a little. I really didn't have to. I don't feel anything at all, but I do sleep. A little. Someone comes in a bit later to check on me, so I get my things together and go to the front of it. At the last minute, I mean, I even reached back to snatch back the envelope. I decide to pay with credit card instead, which just seems, I don't know, appropriate. Anyways, I decide to put it on my Mileage Plus card. I'm not kidding. I actually got miles.
Besides, I mean, we're sending it to a better place, right? Better than this world, anyway. Or maybe not. Maybe it's wrong. Hell, I don't know. But you gotta believe something. You do. Otherwise, not that I wouldn't have taken care of it. Seriously. I can see myself buying toys, changing diapers, all that stuff. Easily. Yeah, I could do that. It would have been nice, forming that parental bond, going to school plays. Yeah, I would enjoy a child. I know I would. Of course, all that's easier to say, you know, knowing the little bundle safely in some incinerator somewhere. Know what I mean? Oh, come on, sure you do. Anyway, I leave her a message on my way to the office.
I stop on the street there and listen to her. Tuck myself into a corner.